What's up, Hope Shot family? Welcome back to Wednesday Night Addiction to Success. Tonight we got a very special guest on, man. I'm excited to hear his story. And if you're just jumping on, let us know you're here. Say what's up. And please, please, please share this out. I know most of you already do, and I appreciate you, Jamie. Good to see you here. What's up, my friend Dustin? Happy Hump Day, Hope Shot fam. I'm going to read the clarity statement. That way nothing gets twisted. We here at the Hope Shot are a group of people in recovery spreading inspiration. We come from all different walks of life and pathways of recovery. Our verbiage may be different at times, but we all have one thing in common: recovery as a lifestyle. We support all pathways of recovery. It doesn't matter how you get from A to Z, just get there. Thank you for being a part of our family. And we got Kyle. What's up, my friend? We got Becky. Good to see you. Lacey, what's up? We got Christina. Good to see you. Yes, thank you, Brandy, for turning her on to this. So tonight we have Ito in the house. He is going to share his story, and I'll give you a little backstory on it's funny, like, we grow up with people and like we know mutual friends, but we don't really know people, and like, but we kind of were in the same neighborhood, we met along this pathway. He found us on the Hope Shot. We met up. He's doing some amazing things in our community with his ministry that he comes down here from Georgia with his ministry to just outreach to people and tell them he has an amazing program, which I'm not going to talk about because I'm going to let him talk about it, because I'll probably ruin it, knowing my luck, and make it less cool than what it is. You know what I mean? I see him laughing in the background. So I'm going to bring Ito on. What's up, my friend?
What's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man.
You actually did a real good job at that. That was amazing.
Thank you. I've been practicing all day, dude.
That's
Like,
right.
literally, I've been practicing all day. I was like, dude, I got to get it right for this dude.
That's right. Oh man.
Yeah, man.
Well,
How are you? Doing good?
yes, sir, man. Doing amazing. Had a good day today too, as well. At work and just throughout the day, just going with the flow of things. I'm gonna go ahead and take these glasses off because they have a tendency of shining through the screen. So
Okay.
and they will distract me.
And another cool thing is he's a fellow drywaller as well.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that's
Something I love to do. Interested techniques, and you already know how creative we can become when it comes to that. So,
yes, sir. So I'm gonna let you have the floor, man. So it's all yours.
all right, man. Just a quick thing, man. I just want to say thank you for bringing me on this addiction to success, because the importance of being able to just share, your testimony, or just what you've experienced through life, is what helped me in my life, and it encouraged me. It was somebody else's testimony which I heard, that encouraged me to take the path that I've been on for a very long time now. And so I'm about 5 years clean, and it's crazy to think about everything that it's restored, everything that you end up getting back, like everything that the Lord ends up restoring in your life when you decide to make that decision, to make that choice. And so, even though I'm 5 years clean, like, this story started in 2015. Like, there was a process that I've been in for a while, to get to where I'm at today. And I'm a firm believer that the Lord is going to do more amazing things in my life, and that right there is very encouraging to just watch it all happen. And so, just a little bit of where I'm at right now today, and then I'll go into a little bit of where I've been and how strategic God is through it all. How He's been there from the beginning all the way to where I'm at right now. And I'm sharing this in hopes that there is a person, there is an individual that just like nothing. There is no such thing as a coincidence in the kingdom. Like there is no coincidences. So there's someone specific that this live feed is going to reach, and just like me, just be that one person that they hear a little bit of hope from, and they just take off from there. Um, but I am a youth pastor at 143 Ministries out here in Augusta, Georgia. I'm also the Breaking New Ground pastor out in Port Richey, Florida, which is my hometown. That's basically where I grew up at. And I also own a drywall business, just like Justin said, man. We got to love the drywall stuff. So, I own Supernatural Drywall here in Augusta, Georgia. But before all that took place in my life, there was a process that I had to sit here and commit to, and that right there is what today I hope encourages someone, because there may be someone right now that is struggling, that is like wondering, why isn't these things happening fast enough? Why can't I move? They're watching other people in their life, just flourish, other people's lives flourish right in front of them, and they're just waiting for that one moment. And why doesn't this happen to me? And like, man, I just need this to hurry up. And what do I need to do, and get caught up in all of the works of things, and not really understanding that those individuals that are where they're at today had to go through a process as well. And so before all this, where I'm at today, I was a full-blown drug addict, IV user, back in Pasco County. I believe that the reason it is hard to return things back to Walmart is because of me. um, I must have ruined it for I must have ruined it for a lot of people, because that was one of my things. And just to go back a little bit more, I grew up in a good family. My whole thing was baseball. I played baseball for Ridgewood High School until I hit a teacher with a tennis ball. And it's funny that Justin speaks about, like, we all know the same people and all this stuff, and it's just like we kind of just like missed each other in the pathway somewhere. But we all know the same group of people. We all grew up with the same group of people. Just uh, I have no idea why we missed each other in that. But at the same time, it was so cool how just about a year ago, this month, as a matter of fact, is when I saw something on social media. Somebody shared something about the walk, the recovery walk, and I saw the Hope Shot out in Sims Park, and I'm like, that's my hometown right there. Like I know that park. And so like it encouraged me to like reach out to Justin and find out what's going on, because prior to that, we have been coming out to Pasco County, to Port Richey, Florida, for a good maybe 12 months at the time, doing Breaking New Ground Ministries. And I'll get into that here in a little bit, but I want to share a little bit of the struggle. A lot of people see all of the glory, they just don't know the story that's behind it. And so like before all this took place, I played baseball. I hit a teacher with a tennis ball. This was the turnaround of my life. All right. I hit a teacher with a tennis ball and playing around inside of a classroom. And when I hit this teacher, she ended up pressing charges. Now I was playing baseball for Ridgewood High School. I was, on the team, just, trying to do good, playing around in the classroom, and I end up getting arrested for it. She wanted to press charges. Now, Angelo Musicaro, who is the pastor at Worship Life Church today, was actually the school resource officer at that time at Ridgewood High School. And he ended up having to arrest me when he didn't want to, but it was like he was forced to do his job at that moment. And it was the turnaround of my life, because I end up going to Schwetman during that time, and I go for a I go for a month is what they told me to go to Schwetman for. Go to Schwetman for a month. If I do good there, then I can go to Golf High School and I can continue to play baseball, and I can finish off the school and all that stuff at Golf High. Well, What happens is I do good at Schwetman. I end up going to Gulf High School. I get on the baseball team there, where I start playing baseball with my buddy Andy Medina and Coach Weimer and all these people, Victor and all that. We're all on the same baseball team over at Gulf High School. And then like a week before the season started, the coach called me into office and told me that Ridgewood would not sign waivers over for me to play. There was something with the school board system, some paperwork that didn't get signed, and I wasn't allowed to play baseball that year. Now, this is my senior year, and it crushed me. It crushed me. It broke me. It got me to a place that I wanted nothing to do with life in general. Like, baseball was my life. This is all I wanted to do growing up. And so when this happened, it really crushed me during that time. And I remember calling my dad and telling my dad that I wanted to drop out of school. And just I wanted nothing to do with school. So my dad, he honored that. He was like, all right, but you have to become a man. And so during that time, like, I started to work at Dollar General, and I was trying to do this and trying to do that, and the money just wasn't right. And then all of a sudden, the woman that I was with, the mother of my children, both two of my children that are in Florida, she ends up getting pregnant, and now I have to be responsible for that. Well, in my family, there is a history of, both drug addiction and drug dealing, both. And growing up in that, like, I knew that there was a way that I can make money, easy money. So this whole thing started out as selling drugs, and then fast forwarding as I'm moving through this, once I turned 18 years old, I ended up getting busted at Mitchell High School with some drugs and stuff like that. I ended up going to jail. My friends got trespassing. I got trespassing with the possession of intent to distribute and all of that stuff. And here I am, 18 years old. I mean, I'm a baseball player, hit a teacher with a tennis ball. My life is just going crazy right now. I end up getting arrested. Now I'm 18 years old. I got these charges with me. And the reason I'm sharing all this is because so that you can hear all of the pain and all of the hurt that I didn't even know that I was struggling with, and that for a long time I covered those feelings, I covered those emotions up by using. And so I end up going to jail, get it bombed out, all this stuff. I end up getting put on probation. Well, I have my first daughter in 2004. And then after 2004, a couple months after that, I lose my mom. And after I lose my mom, like, things really got crazy after that. Like, my mom's gone, my baseball career, like, I ain't got no baseball no more. I got charges, I'm on probation, I need to make money, da 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 da, like all these crazy things. Then my dad, who also was experiencing the loss of my mom, he goes a little wild at the time. And all of a sudden, like, nobody in my family wants nothing to do with my dad. My little brother, my little sister are out here, we're trying to take care of them. Here we are, 18 years old, 19 years old, trying to do all of this stuff, learning how to be adults, basically, in Pasco County. And then in 2000, I believe it was the beginning of 2005, this is where the drug dealing was still going on. And of course there was some using and some partying and all that, but it wasn't really that serious. In 2005, the house got raided. And prior to that, the mother of my children moved out of the house. And it was me and my homeboy Lenny, who is actually going to be sharing his testimony next Friday at Breaking New Ground in Pasco County. So my buddy Lenny and we were in the house. They raided the house, and it just went crazy. So from that moment, I'm just going to continue to fast forward through this because everyone knows the struggle when it comes to addiction. The in and out of jail, in and out of jail. From that moment forth, I've been to prison twice. I've been arrested 15 times in Pasco County. I've tried the harbor. I've been Baker acted into hospitals. I've tried all these things, and none of it would work. And I never understood why I can go to prison for a year, go to prison for 18 months, and then come out and run right back to doing the same thing over and over. I just never understood that. And my family were always asking, like, why? Like, why do you keep on going back to the same things? Lee, I never understood addiction. I never understood any of it. You know, they say that addiction is cunning, baffling, and is powerful. All right. Cunning is skilled. That's what that means. Like, it's not a cliche that the rooms of AA and NA and people speak of. When you hear cunning, baffling, and powerful, you got to understand exactly what it's saying, exactly what that means. For it to be cunning means that it is skilled. Like, this thing is like a ninja. Like, this thing right here ain't playing. And see, and I never understood any of this stuff. All right. And it's baffling, meaning it's confusing. It's hard to understand, and it's powerful, meaning that it is strong. And at the time, I'm constantly going in and out of jail, in and out of jail. Family's going crazy. The mother of my children, you know, she gets to a point, she gets tired. She wants nothing to do with me. And like, I was in and out of jail because I was constantly stealing from Walmart. I was constantly stealing from anybody and anything I can get around. Like, it was just a crazy life. And the whole time, like, I never understood what I was truly battling. The entire time, I never understood the disease of addiction. I never understood why I was doing the things that I was doing. Like, it just never made sense. And in 2015, this is when my life began to change all over again. And this is where I started to get some clarity. This is where I started to understand that God was actually with me the entire time. Like, God was with me the time that I ran up on someone and tried to steal from them, and I should have been killed. Like, God was with me that time that I was sticking a needle in my arm and I was in my grandmother's bathroom and my grandmother caught me. Like, God was with me right there. I should have died that time. God was with me every time I was couch jumping from couch to couch, going all of these places. Like, God was with me the entire time. The whole thing about it is that I did not like God. I dislike God. I had an issue with God. I had a problem with God. And don't even talk to me about Jesus. I really got an issue with him, not even understanding that they're all the same person, the same individual. And so at the time, like, all I knew in 2015, I end up getting arrested. So I used to steal meat. You know, I'll sit there and fill your whole refrigerator up, play with it. I'm talking about, boy, people love me. People love me when it came to the meat game, all that. So, anyways, I know a lot of you guys know Lisa Stout, and she was my bail bonds lady. And on one of these missions that I was on, I end up jumping bail, and so I'm out on the run. This was the last time. This is the time that saved my life right here. I'm out on the run, and little did I know that her daughter, who was friends with me, I didn't know that Lisa Stout was her mom. I just knew her daughter. And so what was crazy was, I end up getting a call to bring a bunch of meat. And when I go to bring the meat, it's actually I was being set up by Maria, who no longer is here with us today. But that lady saved my life. That lady right there gave me an opportunity at that moment. I remember walking in the house, and she said, "You might as well not trying to run now. Like, I got this whole block blocked off right now. Like, wherever you go, you're going to get caught." So I end up getting caught. I end up doing 10 months for all the stuff that I've already been doing. I end up doing 10 months, and in 2015, I end up getting out of jail. When I got out of jail, I got my job back at Three Seasons. I was working at Three Seasons, cutting some grass, and I get my job back at Three Seasons, and I run right back to doing the same old bull crap. The minute I get my first check, I end up going right back to doing the same thing. And after doing that, there was an incident, and this is why this is very encouraging. Y'all have to hear my heart in this, and you have to understand. I'm talking to some parents right now. If there's a parent here that is struggling with their child, one of the things that we teach is pain changes people. pain changes people. And some parents enable people. My parents enabled me for a very long time. Thank God that by the grace of God, I didn't die in the midst of the enabling. Sometimes when you think you're helping people, you're truly just helping yourself. And what I mean by that is you don't like the way that you're feeling emotionally because your loved one is struggling. So you enable them and you call it help. And all it is you getting the emotion off of you. You don't want to feel that. Well, my parents got to a place in my life. One, I didn't want to go back to my grandmother's house. I was tired of hurting my grandmother. Like I can run back to my grandmother's house anytime that I wanted to. You know, out of everyone in my entire family, when people were just falling off in my family, not in a bad sense, like they were just sick and tired of my bullcrap. And you know, my grandmother, like I never did anything wrong. Like there was nothing that I could do that my grandmother would have counted wrong. And so I can always run back to my grandmother's house. But I was living at my dad's house at this time. And I remember my dad telling me, look, if you're not here by 7:30 tonight, like I'm gonna close the door. Like the doors are gonna be locked. And so I'm like, here I am thinking I am the junior, you know, I'm the junior, and so my dad ain't gonna do that. Like, you know, do you know who I think I am? You know, and so I'm over here doing what I do throughout the day, and I show up to the house. I guarantee it was no later than like 7:50, and the doors were locked. The doors were locked, and I knocked on that door, rang that doorbell, and I could not get in the house. And that night, I had to go sleep in a hotel room with a bunch of people that were using and getting high. And I mean, it was straight because I was getting high too. And you know, and getting right. And at the time there was this girl who is another one like Justin. We know the same people. We went to the same schools. We grew up with all these people. This girl lived on the same street that I lived on, that I grew up on Cochise. She lived on Cochise with me, and I never crossed paths with this girl. I knew her brother. We were in jail together, and so he ended up connecting me to her, and we got into talking with each other and all this stuff. Well, this girl gives me an opportunity, and she says there is opportunity out here in Augusta, Georgia, if you want to change your life. And at this moment, man, a lot of things ran through my head. You know, a lot of things, you know, I started really thinking about like all the things that I've done, like all the lives that I destroyed. I got two daughters. Today, one's 18, the other one's 15. I have a 5-year old that's about to turn 6 next week. All girls. So y'all pray for me. I have all girls. And so I got to a point where I knew I hurt so much people. Like that gift of desperation, it was there. It hit. I couldn't go back to my dad's house. I'm in a motel room. I've just done 10 months. Like I'm probably out of jail like 2 weeks right now. And here I am running right back to the same thing. I got to a point where I knew that if I did not jump on that bus and leave Pasco County, Florida, I was going to get killed or I was going to die. I was going to get killed doing something to someone, trying to get a fix, trying to get high, trying to get better, or I was going to die of an overdose. And before this is before all the fentanyl and all that stuff started hitting the streets. And so at this moment, I just was desperate. And a thought came across my mind. And this thought right here did something to me as well. It said it was what good am I going to be for my daughters if I am 6 feet underground? Like what how much of a good father am I going to be for my daughters if I'm 6 feet underground? And that right there, man, that thought right there just encouraged me. And I remember calling my grandmother and telling my grandmother I'm moving to Augusta. She ended up getting me the bus ticket. I ended up my dad dropped me off at the bus stop in Tampa, Florida. And I remember shooting up some dope right before and whispering in his ear when I got to that bus stop and saying, Dad, like, it's underneath your sink. Like, can you make sure that you clean your sink? It's underneath your sink in the bathroom. And I will never forget these. So being here, sharing the addiction to success did something to me today. It made me remember where I was before all this. It made me go back. It made me track these things. You know, in the Bible, testimony is a very powerful thing. The word testimony itself means do it again. And so when you share your testimony, you're basically speaking things into existence for the Lord, Holy Spirit, God, Jesus to do it again. And so that's why testimony is powerful. And as a matter of fact, your testimony is not only good for other people, it's especially good for you. It's for you to remember every single thing that you've been through. And I can talk about so many Bible stories right now. King David, you know, when he's about to sit here and slay the giant, you know, it was his testimony that was brought to his memory when he was in the field with the lions and the bears. See, so here's this giant, and he remembered, the Spirit brought to his memory the time that he was in the field with the lions and the bears. His testimony pushed him one more time where he ended up slaying the giants. Your testimony is powerful. It's powerful for you, and it's powerful for other people. And so this is why we do these things. This is why it is good to go back and just share where you've been at. And so I jump on this bus and I end up going to Augusta, Georgia. And this is the first time that I see this girl. Like, it's the first time that I see her in person. It was the weirdest Christian mingle crazy thing that was going on. I have no idea. That's how it felt like. I felt like I was on a show. Like, I showed up to freaking Augusta, Georgia at the bus stop, and I'm with this girl. I don't even know who she is. I know her brothers. We're from Port Richey. Here we are in Augusta, Georgia, starting a whole brand new life. And that's how it all started. Well, the whole time I have this thing against Jesus. I cannot stand Jesus. The reason that I could not stand Jesus is because he corrected the way that I was living. He corrected every single way that I was living, all of it. And I could not stand it. As a matter of fact, when I was in jail and I was in prison, I used to read all these Illuminati books. I used to be all up in the books, getting all of this information. And so my belief system at that time was so broken and so distraught because everything that I was viewing was being viewed through the lenses of books that I used to read that would make me believe that this man, Jesus, does not even exist. As a matter of fact, I started leaning on my own understanding. Remember, I said that I'm 5 years clean, but this walk started in 2015. This is where the process started. It happened in 2015. See, I would read the Bible and I would say, I can have every seed bearing plant. That's what the Bible says. So I'm allowed to have marijuana, ain't I? I'm allowed to drink as long as I don't get drunk. See, I was using the words, I was using the scriptures to basically like go with my illness, my sickness that was going on. I was actually using something that set me free when I began to truly understand and surrender myself to the Lord. And so I could not stand Jesus during this time. And so I end up going to a church. This is before all the recovery, all the homes, everything that I'm about to share here about where we're at right now with 143 Ministries, Breaking New Ground, Catherine's Way, Emmanuel's House, like all this stuff. This is before any of that even existed in Augusta. I'm going to a church, the Building Worship Center, and because I have a distraught vision about church, and I am church hurt, and I can't stand the church, I can't stand Jesus. I'm only going here because I only know one thing: I'm either gonna die or I'm gonna get it right. So I might as well try to get it right. That's the mindset at this moment. I was that desperate. And so I ended up going to a church. And while I was there, you know, there were certain things that were going on. And, you know, I just felt some type of way sometimes, you know, and all it was my immaturity during that time, that I began to feel these type of things. And I started becoming judgmental towards the people in the church. I started like to view the people in the church like this is not something that I want. And so I know that there's people even on this feed right now who struggle with the same struggles. They have been put a view of Jesus through church people that don't even know Jesus. And so that they're crushed because of how these church people have treated them. They're judgmental. You know, these people don't know what I've been through, like all this stuff, man. And I'm here to sit here and speak some hope during that into that situation. And so during this time, man, I end up doing good. And so they asked me to share my testimony. I begin to share my testimony. And as I was sharing my testimony, I had said something. And during that time, man, the person, I was like, and you guys know who that was? And the person said Jesus. And when he said Jesus, man, like my whole body, like crumbled inside. Something at that moment happened. I started to really second guess myself. And I'm telling you, it was probably the fastest testimony that I ever shared after I heard that name. And so, like, I can do a lot of things in my own strength. Willpower can do a bunch of things. And that's how I was my entire life. I've always wanted to do these things. I've always been a winner. Playing baseball, I'm a winner. I'm not a loser, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes. Like I jumped on this bus. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Everything was me, 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 me. But when that name Jesus was shared, it did something to me. I remember finishing my testimony as fast as I could and going home and sitting in my kitchen and beginning to cry, beginning to have like an experience, an encounter. The big book calls it a spiritual awakening. I had an encounter. I had a spiritual awakening when I heard the name Jesus and I began to understand. And so I began to research some things because that's how I am. I need to understand things. I'm the type of person that I'm gonna devour something. And so what the Lord showed me during this time was that be careful with the internet because the internet may be correct. Whatever you do, just don't let it corrupt. Like there are things in the internet that are made that way. There are people that actually control that stuff. And I know this because I've read about it. And so on top of it, I was letting the internet corrupt me by making me believe things that they made to seem real. But nobody can take away from me that experience that I had in that church, that experience that I had inside of that kitchen, that experience that I continue to have still to this day. And like it doesn't go away. Like this is what you get every single day of my life. Like everywhere that I go, everywhere, wherever I'm at, whether I'm at work, whatever, like this does not change. This is going to stay this way. Like this encounter, this relationship that I have with the Lord is not going away. And I want to encourage some folks to get to a place to really get to know this higher power that a lot of people seek, really get to know his characteristics, really get to know who he truly is, really get to know how he loves, really get to know how he chases us, really get to know that he is one that redeems us, really get to know that we have been summoned, like really get to know the truth of this God that everyone is speaking about. And don't let other people that have given you these lenses continue to deteriorate you from the truth and the freedom that we can truly access. And so during that time, man, all this stuff started to go on. My life began to change. Drug addiction started to be removed. I started feeling convicted about not being married. And I had another child. I started feeling some conviction about that. I ended up getting married. After I get married, oh, hell breaks loose in my house. My wife, I'm following God. My wife is she's struggling. She's doing whatever she wants to do. The person that she's with right now is not the person that she met. And so I'm following the Lord. I'm chasing the Lord. I'm changing my life. And I'm like, either you're going to come with me or I'm gone. Like this is where I'm going. You can stay right here. I am gone. I'm not worried about you drinking. It is what it is. But the problem is that I was trying to be God in her life. I was trying to control everything. I was trying to tell her what to do and all this, that. And look, man, words of advice, it does not work. It does not work. And so we know that the person who struggles with the disease of addiction, just like me, there's only one way that the hopeless variety ends up getting touched, and that is by an outside force coming in to intervene, whether it's jails, institutions, and sometimes, sad to say it, death. And so something had to happen. And when my wife went and got right, my wife is 3 years clean right now, going on 4 years clean ever since going through the Catherine's Way program. And so just to share a little bit about the programs that we have, I know I'm running out of time. I can sit here and talk for about 6 hours straight. So don't let me do that, Justin. I will continue to go and go and go and go. But at the same time, I do want to share that there is a way, that it is very possible. As long as we get to a place that we surrender it all. Step one, we admit it, we acknowledge that we are powerless over drugs and alcohol and that our life has become unmanageable. We have to acknowledge it. Until we acknowledge it, all it is just something that we know. Like there's a difference between knowing that you're powerless and acknowledging the fact that you're powerless. Big difference in that area. When you acknowledge something, you actually believe the truth of what's in front of you. When you know something, it's just information. And so we got to get to a place within our lives that we acknowledge the fact that we are powerless. In the Bible, there is a man who is by the pool that he can get healed. There's some healing out there for some people today. The issue is because they're strong in certain areas of their lives, they won't acknowledge the fact, the areas that they're weak in, and the kingdom doesn't move forward in that area. We allow the areas that we're strong in to put band-aids over the areas that we really need some true healing that's really going to set us free in life. And so this man who was crippled by the pool, and all he had to do was get into this pool. All he had to do was just jump into this pool, but he can't because he's crippled. Like he's got an issue and he can't get into the pool. And every time that he goes to get close to the pool, like someone to jump in the pool and they'll get their healing. And here comes Jesus. And Jesus asked the man, like, what's wrong? What's going on? This is step one at its finest right here. See, a lot of people don't really understand that step work is all biblical based. It comes straight from the scriptures. It's just given in a term and words that people understand it. Why? Because they've been hurt by the church. And so the church has caused people to run. And so the book of AA is a special thing in the tools of people that truly understand it. All right. So you have Jesus hops on the scene and he asks the man, like, what is wrong? And the man says this: I can't get into the water. And that's where my healing is. I can't. It was when he acknowledged his weakness. It was when he admitted that he was powerless and that his life has become unmanageable at that time that the kingdom went forth. And he didn't even need to get into the pool. He was healed instantly. And Jesus told him to get up and walk away. And so we have to understand step one is the most powerful one out of all of them. But some of the teachings that we have here at 143 Ministries is we have what we call the problem response chart. We have the innate needs. We teach deep recovery. We teach how we were created, from the beginning of time, how we are a spirit with a soul inside of a body, and how the three-part illness actually resides in that. I don't know if you guys know much about the three-part illness, but if you read the big book of AA, you got your spiritual malady, you have the allergy of the body, you have the obsession of the mind. And so we teach on the three-part illness of drug addiction. We also teach the innate needs of man. And if you go to page 64 in the big book, it speaks about these innate needs. The difference between the page in the big books is we end up speaking it and teaching it on a deeper level to give people some real understanding. So like the innate needs of man, which is your prestige. How many of y'all love to be seen as important? That's what your prestige is, right? You love to be seen as important. The minute that someone doesn't see you as important, you are in what we consider a void. You are in a place that does not feel good. All right. So all of these needs come with rewards when they're met, and they come with voids when they're not met. And I can continue to go on to that, but that's just one of the teachings. I'm going to push that one to the side real quick. So we teach on the three-part illness. We teach on the innate needs. We also teach on personality traits, understanding how you were created as an individual, how you're aggressive. Some people are leaders, but someone who's immature will become bossy. And so we do teachings on that as well. We have one of the greatest teachings, I believe, of all when it comes to recovery, and it's called the problem response chart. Is learning how to navigate your emotions. And we also teach that recovery is for everybody. And so we have a manual right now that's out. You can find it on Amazon. It's called Redefining Recovery, 143 Ministries. All the information, all the stuff that we teach is inside of this manual. And so when I said recovery is for everybody, I'm speaking to those who don't think that they need recovery, because there is a perspective that's been put on people when it comes to recovery. You talk to anybody who is inside of a church right now and tell them that you need recovery, they probably shut you down. Here's the issue that's going on right now. The church doesn't think they need recovery. The recovery community doesn't want nothing to do with the church. We believe that we're bringing both of them together because there's no difference in them. Not one bit. Recovery just simply means to return back to the original state of mind, strength, and health. That's what the word recovery means. All right. Is a process of steps to regain something that was lost and stolen. All right. And so our perspective, our entire life of what recovery truly is, has been put on us. Hold on, give me 1 second. Something just popped up on my screen. Has been put on us through other people. And so we don't want this. And so we don't really truly get some true freedom when it comes. What if I was to tell you that recovery means that we're just recovering the things that were lost, stolen, and that we've surrendered? The things that were lost at the fall of man, the beginning of time, the things that were stolen by an enemy, which is your peace, your joy, your happiness, and the things that we've surrendered because of a lack of knowledge. What lack of knowledge? Knowledge, this information, the steps, the word of God, the stuff that can actually really set us free. That lack of knowledge because of what's going on. So in 2016, I ended up going to, I had my birthday party, and I invited my pastor, the person whose testimony changed my life and gave me some hope. I actually invited him over to my birthday party in 2016, and I was smoking weed and drinking. Now I'm going to speak about what really encouraged me about the church. This man showed up to my birthday party and never judged me. This man showed up to my birthday party and never used. This man sat at my birthday party with me and hung out with me while I was still doing whatever I wanted to do. Remember, I thought smoking and drinking was still okay at the time. And he was there with me. And it really gave me a different, he shifted my view on church. He showed me a side of Jesus that I've never seen before. Everything that I've heard about Jesus to this point was all judgmental. This man's just trying to correct the way that I was living. And so at that moment, man, I had this thing that I shared with him. And I said, man, I feel like one day I'm going to be going back to Pasco County and I'm going to be giving back. Like, I want to give back. I want to help my friends. I got friends out there that are dying, left and right. Like, I just want to bring them some hope and all this stuff. And I remember the words to this day, what he said. And I'm just going to paraphrase, but it fell along the lines: you can't give away something that you don't possess. You can't give away something you truly do not possess. And man, and then he said, and then you got to do it out here. And so from 2016 all the way to 2021, there has been a process of things. There has been my wife going through the program. There has been me going through the struggle. There has been so many ups and downs, so many emotions, so many tears, so much sweat, so many things, so much brokenness that has taken place during this time, and from 2016 to 2021, that has equipped me for where we're at today. And so in 2021, the end of 2020, I came to Florida to hang out with my family. And while I was out there, I ended up going to Worship Life Church, which is Pastor Angelo, who is the resource officer that had to do his job when I was a teenager. He's a pastor of Worship Life Church. And I went there and I had asked him if I can have a service at his church. And I remember saying, like, just you guys just come. Y'all don't need to do nothing. We don't need a worship team. We don't need anything. I just want to just share a little bit about these teachings that we have. And I remember him saying, yeah, and opening up his doors. And when he opened up his doors, it was January 1st and we ended up having a service, and the service was called Breaking New Ground, and it was one of the first services that we had, and it was very encouraging. I remember being in the church and preaching, and I remember someone sitting in the pew, and she said this. She said, "If," and I'm not going to curse, but she was like, "If this effing feels this effing good, I don't effing want to effing get high again." This and it really encouraged me that this is what was going on. Someone got touched, uh, and so since that time, we have been coming out to Pasco County, Florida, for a Breaking New Ground weekend since January of 2021. And here we are, August, next week, August 5th and 6th. We'll be back out in Pasco County at 6345 Grand Boulevard, which is Journey Church. So we've been going to Worship Life. We've been doing what we do there. We've been like Holy Spirit has been moving. God has been doing amazing things. And from there, we moved over to Sims Park. So where the recovery walk is at, there's actually a church in that same area that we actually do a lot of these teachings at. We come every single month to teach on the three-part illness. We come every single month to teach on the innate needs, to help people understand their emotions, to help people navigate through some of these things. And so another thing that has happened since then to now is we've also helped I want to say about 8 or 9 people get into our recovery houses here in Augusta, Georgia. So people will show up to a Breaking New Ground weekend. They'll either be high or drunk, and they want to get help. One of my friends, one of my back in the day friends, Raylene, she works for Baycare, and she has been helping out with helping some folks get detox and getting them over into the program here in Augusta, Georgia. And so we are a resource in Pasco County. And it all started with a broke down drug addict shooting up, hurt every single body in his path. And the Lord getting a hold of this man and changing his life. And now I can really give back what was freely given. And so that's everything. That's a quick little 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever that was. Remember, I told you, if you don't stop me, I will keep on
Hey,
going.
sometimes, man, you just gotta let the wave roll out. You know what I mean? You don't stop it, man. I don't want to be that rock.
That's good, man.
Man, Ito, man, you're such an inspiration, dude. When you talk, people are gonna listen. I'll tell you right now. You're inspiring, man, and I'm grateful that we met up and our paths crossed. Because I remember Raylene too, man. I used to freaking cop off her all the time. Whenever I could.
That was my dog.
Yeah, and then I was, it's funny. It's like she just disappeared one time, and then she went to California and stuff, and now I see her hanging out with you and doing the deal, and it's cool, man. It's cool to watch people, man, that you used to run with and do stuff with, and like, maybe if it was just a brush of it, they get this, man.
Yeah.
There's a few things I want to freaking go through, and then I'm gonna read some of the comments. And then that's pretty much it, man. But yo, listen, we have a lot in common, bro. The meat stealing, I was the dude. Crab legs and steak, 50%. I was
Let's
the dude.
go.
Walmart, I'd go clothes shopping for anything you wanted. I got half price. I was a half price guy.
Bro, it got to the point that I got done doing the gift cards. I'll just go get what you wanted.
That's exactly what I did.
You want a TV? I'm gonna go get it. And then I ended up getting in trouble a lot. So
yeah, the only things I have is for petty theft, man. I even got unlawful possession of a driver's license because of it.
Man, there's so many different stories behind that. The walkie-talkies. I mean, I had people with walkie-talkies watching the people that were watching me while I was stealing in the store, letting me know they're following you. And so I would, so it was just crazy.
That's a little sophisticated, man. I don't even know. Then, dude, I used to live on Coat Cheese.
Yep.
I live on Coat Cheese. but it wasn't like when I would think I was like 20 21 to 25, bro. So it was like what, 15 years ago. I
Yep.
lived right on the corner, bro. That's when I was messing with all your boys, Steve and all
Uh-huh.
them. I redid the inside of their house, their mama's house,
Yeah.
back in the day. That was all gone.
Yeah.
Another planet, dude.
That was.
Um, let's see. A testimony, bro. How powerful it is for somebody to share their story, man. And like that's what I keep saying is like you sharing it not only helps the person that's listening, but dude, in turn, it's you sharing it, reliving it, and just like it opens up these aha moments in your life, like these things that just energize you, man, that give you hope. And even just coming back and reading comments of people just giving you encouragement, man, it opens so many more doors. It's helped me. Like, dude, when I first started doing this live video crap, man, and all this, man, I was like, you know, nobody wants to hear. Oh my god, is my hair okay? Because in some form or fashion, we all do want to feel like we're important. You know what I
It's
mean?
your innate needs. That's the thing, man. It's your
Mhm.
innate needs. It's the need to, be seen as important, the need to be seen in a favorable light, the need to see yourself in a favorable light, the need for companionship, personal relationships, like all that's going off
Oh yeah,
during that time, and those
yeah.
are all part of your social instincts. So,
Of course. And dude, and that's still there even when we have it all together. You know what
mm,
I mean? We can have it all together, Mr. Right. You know what I mean? Just
yeah,
freaking cooling it, you know?
the struggle
And,
is real.
and then that little boy comes up, oh God, you know, and we just want to feel a part, man. You
Yeah,
know, we want to feel like we can be somebody and do something. And that's why, like, it's important for us to like just get in the middle of the boat. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Get in the middle of the boat and do something about it, you know?
The goal,
Um,
the goal that we teach when it comes to those innate needs is not allowing our character defects to try to go get a need met apart from God. Like he's our source. Like that's where our nourishment comes from. And so like when we feel rejected, let's talk about rejection real quick. When someone feels rejected, like their source of nourishment is coming from people. And so what we do when we feel rejected is we analyze the source of our rejection instead of analyzing the source of our acceptance.
mm,
We're already accepted. Like we're already, and the thing about it is you won't never know how you're accepted. You won't never know to trust the Lord if you don't know who He is. Like Justin, like if I was to, this is how we explain knowing. All right, like I can come up to my pastor right now. I can go up to someone in on this live feed right now that I don't know and say, "Let me borrow $5,000." They're gonna be like, "The hell with you!" Like, why? Because they don't know me. But if I walk up to my pastor right now and I tell my pastor, "Let me get $5,000," he's going to give it to me. Why? Because he knows me. And so that's the type of relationship that we need to have with our Father. Like
mhm.
we pray about it all the time. You go to all these meetings, whatever they say, let's say a prayer. And the prayer is, "Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." Like we pray to God, but we don't know exactly who He is. And so when we feel rejected, we're too busy analyzing the source where that came from instead of really analyzing the source of our acceptance. And the only way that we're going to know that is by getting to know Him, by
Mm.
getting to know that we are already loved.
And
We
that's
don't
where the people pleasing and all that, man.
all that.
All that acceptance, man, just searching for
Hmm.
it. um, yeah, man, it's all good stuff, man. So, manipulating to fit our agenda, man. I just wrote a few things down, man, and it's exactly what we do. You know, when you said you read the Bible to, any book we read, anything, we can
Hmm.
manipulate it to fit what we need. You
Yes.
know what I mean? We could twist words. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, that we're really good at it. We're experts at manipulation. Um, let's see. And then the intervene. Outside forces intervene. Most time it's a rescue. You know what I mean? They rescue us from ourselves. And I've told that to many people, especially like, we do a lot of work with the law enforcement around here to, you know, sometimes, man, that thing is a rescue. They rescued me. Thank you for good.
I know that's right.
Boo Boo crying. You know what I mean? Like, dude, thank
You
you,
seen that before picture you put up there? I know I've been rescued, but that
bro.
thing right there is definitely, and that's part of the three-part illness, man. And addiction at the core, like addiction, the casual user, you have your hardcore user, and that's the hopeless variety. All
Hmm.
right, so that's part of the teachings that we do. So your casual are the ones that are one and done. These are the ones that us hopeless addicts hate. Like we hate the one and dones. Like
Hmm.
they do it occasionally. They're the ones that do this on birthdays and all that. Then you have your hardcore. Your hardcore addict is the one that ends up using until something happens. Meaning the wife comes in, the husband comes in, you know, says, "Look, if you do not change, I am divorcing you." So the hardcore addict finishes. He's done. He's like, you know what? I'm going to change my life right here. But the hopeless addict can't stop, won't stop. That's the one that does not care. That is the one that is going to keep on running until an outside force stops him. That outside force sounds like being rescued. And so that's part of the teachings that we do is like everyone's battling this addiction. Everyone's struggling with this addiction. They don't even have an idea of what addiction truly is. You know,
Hmm.
like the users. You got the
Why do
people,
I do what I do?
like the
Why?
people that smoke. Like, oh, I'm not an addict. Why? Because you use different than I do. I mean, like you smoke weed, you're an addict. You know, if you drink, you're an addict. If you
Yep.
have a drink here and there, you're just a different type of addict. You're
Yeah.
a different type of user. You fall in one of those back brackets: casual, hardcore, or hopeless. We are the hopeless variety. We
Hmm.
are the ones that have the disease of addiction. All right, and I love that argument. Disease and
Oh God.
choice.
Oh
I
no.
love that
You're
argument.
trying to open up another wall, dude. Another way, bro. Hey, we'll say it for another time.
Let's go.
Oh man. You know what? The one thing you said, man, everybody's in recovery. And I believe that. And the one thing that I always hold on to, and it really like every time you like go into this thing deeper, see new meaning, see new perspective, man, it's pretty cool. But the one thing that Samsha, the meaning behind it is somebody that is return to a healthy state, like, and also striving to reach their full potential, you know. And like I believe in that, like striving to reach your full potential. That's what we're all doing here. Unless we're not, you know, we could be, you know, when we're using, then we could be, you know, that's when we're regressing back into vegetative state shit.
Yes.
In my case, but
Addiction, speaking on that recovery, how everyone's in recovery, like addiction is anything that we use to try to get a need met apart from God. A need met, meaning one of those social security or sexual needs met apart from God. That is
mhm.
addiction. With the drug addict, what has happened with us is those temporary fixes don't work no more. And we need something stronger. So we use different. The difference between my addiction, your addiction, and the person that's sitting inside of a pew right now is that ours are visible, theirs are not.
Oh yeah. Oh,
That's the difference.
oh, dude, yeah, dude. And you know what's funny, man? You know, we're all a bunch of judgy people, right? We can look at, I could look at you, bro, and be like, "You see that guy? Jeez, man, like, I'm not that bad, you know. I'm gonna look at your faults and all your, you know, problems, and I'm gonna look at mine and be like, well, at least I'm not like that guy, you know. But we're a bunch of judgy humans, you know, that just need to love on people, man. We just need to love people, lift people up, you know. I think that's one thing that draws me to you, Ito, is just like how you just want to help people in general, and you want to do it out of just compassion, you
Yeah.
know. And that's what I love about it, man. And then I need to get that book now, you know what I mean? I'm not
Yeah. We'll,
listen.
we'll have it next week on Friday, man. We'll have them available, and you can get it on Amazon too. Redefining Recovery, but the one by 143 Ministries. You can find it, but we'll have it. We'll have them out there, and on top of it, for the recovery walk in September, I'm going to be bringing a whole bunch of books. I'm going to be bringing some of the shirts, and some of our pamphlets and stuff like that that discusses everything 143 Ministry does when
Mhm.
it comes to Catherine's Way, Emmanuel's house, and how we are a resource in the community. Like, here's the thing, man. Like, there's people in our houses right now that have come from Pasco County. They're from Port Richey, and it's amazing to watch their growth. And ain't no telling. They go back and they end up shaking up the community. There's so much things for Pasco County that a lot of people have not even seen. They don't even know we're out there. We've been out there for going on 21 months, and a lot of people don't even know we're even out there. And so
that's why we need to get you out there. We need to put you on just like this, man. This is getting you out there. People need to know, man. There's never one way. There's all kinds of ways to get to the same goal. And I feel like what you have is pretty powerful, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I think you have something really good, something special for Pasco.
You have to, just great leadership, man. Great leadership, people that are sold out. That's what it is, man. The networking is extremely important, and it's just the great leadership that has poured into my life. My pastor Clifton Nobles, that man right there. Not only is he, one of my pastors, he's more of a brother, the big brother that I didn't have. Growing up, everyone always wanted that one big brother. That's how I see him. He's more like a big brother. He does know how to correct people, and that's one of the things that a lot of people fail in is they don't like correction, and so correction is not rejection, and we need to understand that. So.
Yeah, we need a lot more correction in our life than we think.
Yes,
Hey, dude, I'm gonna come out there next Friday, man. I'm gonna come through. I want to come to your teach, not this Friday, the next one, right?
Yeah. Not this. Hold on. Let me look. Now you got me all confused.
Hey, when you do me a favor after this live, after we're done, can you go in here, put your everything, like
everything
on the book, your website, what's the deal with your when you're gonna be here, where's the teaching at, the address, all of it. That way people can find you and also support what you're doing, and then also to the learn your teachings and stuff like that.
Yes, they're very beneficial, man. Like I saw a comment there from someone, I think it's Lisa Dillon.
Yeah.
Lisa Dillon is not one who struggled with like drugs and alcohol like that. And she comes to one of our meetings, and she's, from the we need to eat though part too. She's from.
There's a couple of those, bro. We got Caesar in the house too. Too, Electric Boogaloo.
Hey, so yeah, Lisa, she's just someone that's, in the church and stuff like that, and really understanding these things, man. It's real awesome. So
I'm gonna read out some of these comments real quick. You got Christina says, "You guys are amazing. I have been struggling. This has truly been enlightening. God bless you both."
Yes.
I'm glad you're here, Christina. We got Kate says, yes, so true. I totally needed this tonight. The struggle is real. Thanks so much, guys. Lots of love. Listen, guys, man, we all struggle, man. And it's okay to struggle, just get it out there, get yourself out there, be vulnerable, let people know, get on here, shit, message us. You know what I mean? You can message Ito too, and just say you're struggling, and whatever that looks like. Sometimes you just need to be talked off a ledge,
That's right.
I need to be talked off a ledge, and that's why I have people to talk to. Let's see. We got Amy Lee says, thank you for a great live tonight. These lives are my meetings and the support. Thank you. Thank goodness for your lives in the evening, and to those sharing testimony. Thank you for the support. Thank you for being here. Like I said, we'd just be talking to ourselves if nobody. We are the universe having human experience. God isn't man, female, or human. God is a creator of everything, no different than Lucifer. Again, not human. Again, making this comment only on my personal experience and knowledge of the book of Enosh.
That's good.
Let's see. We got Dustin says, I will be there too. Can't wait to check it out. We got Tatum says, you've done so much good in this world. Ito, God bless you.
Tatum, what's up?
Yo, he was saying something about Crabtree earlier, dude. I grew up on Crabtree too. That's
my dog right there. Tatum was on Crabtree with us.
Yeah, I was in I grew up on Crabtree. My friend Tanya lived there, man.
Yeah.
How old are you, dude?
I am 30, going to be 37.
Okay, you're a little bit younger than me.
Yeah, a little bit, just a little bit, but I ran with the same people.
Yeah, exactly. You know it, brother. Let's see. We got and then I want to say I put Raylene's comment, but thanks for being here tonight, Raylene. And also my peeps, Amanda, all recovery, all pathways. We do recovery. She's doing amazing things in South Carolina, man. Definitely hook up with her. She's awesome. Doing amazing things. Let's see. Oh, we got Missy Thang. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm at work, but I had to stop in and show y'all some love. Stay blessed and recovered. And that's it for tonight, guys. Hey, Ito, man.
Yes, sir.
Round of applause to you, dude. You're the real deal, man. I appreciate
Hey, man,
you.
let me pray for y'all real quick, man, and in hopes that someone has gotten something out of this. And so Father, I just want to thank you, Lord, for the amazing night, Lord, and how our testimony, Father God, can help somebody else, Lord. May all the seeds that went forward tonight, Father God, land on good soil and produce a harvest for you, Lord, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Appreciate you, bro.
Yes,
And
sir.
thank you all for being here. Listen, Ito, he's got some great things happening. Like I said, he's gonna put everything in the comments once we get done with this live. He'll put all the information that you need to find him and the book and all this good stuff he's got going on. Check us out this Sunday. We're gonna be doing our Sunday night topics SNL, where we're gonna be sharing a little bit about maybe something that comes up during the week to set the week off right. It's Sunday. To start a new week. So love y'all. Thank y'all.
All right. Love you too, man. Y'all be good.
See ya.
See y'all soon.